On this channel, we did Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Now let's draw the other British guy who played an American superhero. What is going on, drawittoo crew? Rem here once again with another drawing tutorial for you guys, and today we are going to do Spider-Man once again, but we are going to be drawing Tom Holland, more specifically the suit that he wore in the final battle in Spider-Man No Way Home. This suit is called the integrated suit because it integrates two different designs of the Spider-Man suit, the Iron Spider and his regular suit. So put them all together and you get this suit right here. Now I'm intending for all of these three Spider-Man drawings that we're going to do, I'll do the Tobey Maguire one last, but I intend for them to be meant to be drawn next to each other swinging, so that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and get started. Remember that I like to do breakdowns first so you guys can see like the image reference that we're going to use broken down into its different components, so make sure you check that out before the actual tutorial. Let's go ahead and get started. So here we have our reference photo. You'll notice that I'm actually using the action figure, the Hot Toys version of the integrated suit, and I find that Hot Toys does a really good job of showing you like the details of the suit, but the problem is if you use reference photos of toys, there's certain joints here, like this elbow looks just a little bit too low, a little bit weird the way that it's attached to the shoulder. So we're gonna fix that up. I do have an action figure of this guy, and because it's plastic, when you move it, it doesn't look right sometimes. So that's just how toys are. But let's go ahead and get started with this one. Always like to start with the circle and trying to find the shape of the head. So that's what that looks like. Now from shoulder, here's the shoulder right here, to this shoulder. There's the top of the chest there, and trying to find, here's the rest of the chest going this way. And then the torso. I'm finding that the torso is a little bit too big for this one right here, so I might have to shorten that a little bit, especially in this area right here. Yeah, so there's a lot of wrinkles here that's happening that shouldn't be there in the actual suit itself. Now you'll notice that this right here, I'm going to raise it a little bit higher, like I mentioned, so it looks a little bit more natural. And then here we've got the forearm going this way. Okay. And then you see how you don't really see much of the pinky right there. That's just how that is. But what we'll do is we'll kind of draw the pinky foreshortened a little bit so that, you know, it doesn't look too odd. Okay, so there's that hand. Let's draw the web going diagonal this way. Let's go back over here actually. So there's the eyes. Looks very similar to the way that we did Andrew Garfield's. Same angle of the head even. The other forearm. So there's the other hand there. Looks weird, I know. Here's the center line that goes down the chest into the crotch, right? And yeah, you want to pay attention to these lines right here where they cross, because that sort of gives you a guideline of where the spider logo is going to start off of. And this one is going to go to the shoulders. It's the big ones, the big Iron Spider look. And we're going to fix it the way that it looks down here so that it doesn't look all wrinkly. So there you go. That's what that looks like. And then kneecaps, and then draw the thighs going into the kneecaps. Another one here that goes in like so. Calf muscle, foot, calf muscle, foot. It's almost very, very similar to the Andrew Garfield one, but yeah. So that's that right there. Let me just remove this bottom layer. And that's the Spider-Man that we are going to draw. As you guys can see, I've got my paper in portrait mode. We're going to be drawing Spider-Man full body, and he's going to be crouching. We're going to start off, let me show you the top of the page here. There you go. We're going to start off by drawing his head, like around here, center, and a circle about this big, just like that. Okay, we're going to tilt his head slightly. So it's going to look like that. That's the center line. And then we're going to bring his chin like this. So that's what that's going to look like. Now, Spider-Man's got a very rounded head. So let's try to get that shape as best as you can. There's really no jaw. I'm going to erase that in a bit, but there's really no jaw to it, to that line there. So let me replace my pencil here. So that's what that looks like right there. Okay, so right around here, we're going to draw where his shoulder is going to be, and then his shoulder is going to be close to his face, and it's going to be rounded. And it's going to look like that. So I'm just going to draw a little C going this way. Be a little bit closer even. So there you go. So there's one side, and then the other side is going to be really close, about this close to his face. So if you think of it as just part of the body, that's what that looks like. Let me bring that up for you. Okay, and this one is going to go kind of down like this. Meanwhile, this one is going to follow along. Find a little torso, so from here goes down about that far down and going across like so. So there's the chest right there already. Okay, from here, this goes in and it gets narrower as you get to the waist. And about this far down is going to be where we're going to draw the waistline, like so. Okay. If we were to draw the center line for the chest, it's going to look like this. Okay, and then I'm just drawing that because it shows you kind of where the back is. So this is like the back muscle right here, and this is the front. Okay, a little shoulder sticking out like this, very, very tiny. And then for this one, the bicep's going to be like this, right? So the bottom of the bicep and like the circle for the, I made it a little too round, but the circle for the shoulder here sort of meet down here, and then the bicep kind of goes like that. Okay, not too far out is where you start to see the forearm, and it goes like this. Okay, so the bicep, shoulder, they kind of go together, and then the forearm comes out like so right here. Let's make that a U shape. Not too far. Everything is foreshortened, as it's called. And then another bean shape that looks like this. Okay, and remember this part right here. Finger goes out like that. The pinky goes out this way into the forearm. And then you got the thumb kind of going out, up, and then like so. Okay, right in between, 3 lines there to indicate the 2 fingers, and then they get narrower as you go towards the other side there. And then right here is kind of, you don't really see it, but that's the web shooter, and then goes past the thumb like so, that way. So there's our webbing going out that way. Okay, before we draw the full arm right here, I'm just going to erase that a little bit. We draw the forearm right here. Let's kind of follow this through. Again, try to make like this organic shape for Spider-Man, because he's very known for being fluid, essentially. Create the underwear. And this is where waist gets narrow and then it starts to widen up a little bit here. And this goes down, and then here's the little crotch area, just like that. So right around here is where we're going to draw the one thigh, and the other thigh is going to go down this way. Okay, so make sure you follow along. Now this thing kind of has this, if you kind of just draw this line like that, that's how we want the body to flow. So just kind of very lightly draw that line there so that you kind of know where and how you want the body to go. So I'm making a little bit of mistake. I'm glad I did this actually, because I'm already starting to find some mistakes. Okay, from the crotch, here's the crotch here. A little bit further down, I'm just going to draw the knee. And the knee's going to be but this distance away from the crotch area. And then the thigh muscle is pretty much just going to go towards the bottom of the knee there, and here, towards the middle of that kneecap, like so. Okay, and then for this one, this is going to go out towards here, this area here, and then make that half a circle shape there for the knee. This goes fairly straight like that, but you want to make sure you don't want to make the thigh too fat. That's too big right there, you see. So you want to make it a skinny looking thigh. It gets narrower as you go. So that's the spider thigh right there. Okay, and then right here, we're going to bring Spider-Man. So now you guys can see where my line is kind of giving it direction, literally. This almost looks like an upside down teardrop. And then you got the heel right here. Goes outside of the foot, pointy toes, and pretty much just close it, looks like that. Okay, so there's the back of the foot, you see, and this is just an indication of where the ankle is going to be. So this is the end of the calf, the start of the foot going down. Okay, and then right here we're going to create this kind of shape from the knee. We're going to bring it down a little bit, and then right here, you don't want this to be any thicker than the thigh, so you want to make sure that it's skinny. So right around here is good. Foot going like so. And then you got the rest of the foot, the top of the foot going down this way. So here's the heel. And then a little bit more rounded, there's the foot like that. Moving on up here, we're just going to finish with drawing the forearm coming out from the middle of the chest like that, and then the bottom of the chest. It's going to go this way to about there. This goes up. This goes across like so. This goes up. And then just round it right there. Okay, and then just looking at my reference photos here, the thumb goes downward. Okay. And then this sort of makes like a claw shape, kind of like like this. Okay, so it goes up, across, and then down. 3 segments for the finger like that. Okay, and then you see the next finger kind of doing the exact same thing right here. And then a third finger going on that side. And then you don't see the fourth, so it kind of looks weird, but that's what the reference photo looks like, right? Okay, so that's what that looks like right there. Looks pretty good. I think it's a really good shape. I think we got the proportions pretty good. This is a time where you kind of want to pause the video maybe and make some corrections if you feel like you need. And here, like like I said in my previous tutorial, you can stop right here and you can make, it doesn't have to be Tom Holland, right? Like you can make any Spider-Man you want. You can make it Tobey Maguire, you can make it a comic Spider-Man or anything like that, because this is a very good generic spider pose, which you can use on any version of Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2099, whichever one you want. All right, so there's that. Let's go ahead and get to the face and let's start drawing the face. Okay, in my last one, we kind of found this spot right here, and that's where we're going to start the eyes. That goes up like this, just like our previous one, like Andrew Garfield. And right here goes up to about this point right here. So the goal here is you want to try to make this line right here look pretty symmetrical. The eyes aren't as big as Andrew Garfield's this time around, so it just goes down and then up again, like so. And for Tom Holland, the black around the eyes is a lot thicker and a lot darker. You see what I mean there? Compared to, well, I guess his is pretty thick as well, but yeah, this one is pretty thick compared to the white. This one is got a big white area in those lines, and then Tobey's is the one that looks the most distinct because it's got a sharp point at the bottom. Anyway, so let's carry on. I'm glad I have this as a reference photo as well, so I can show you. Now, if you guys really want to, you can add a little bit more detail to the lines here, because I don't know if you can see it very well here, but you know how there's a mechanism that makes Tom Holland's eyes go big and small. So feel free to draw that mechanism as well if you guys want to. But it's very important to try to get that eye shape, that distinct eye shape. Try to get it as best as you can. There's comes up to a very high point up here. So yeah, this is where you'll kind of want to spend a little bit more time getting that shape right as well. Good. Drawing that center line actually gives you some guideline as to where to start with the webbing. And like what we did with Andrew Garfield, I'm going to draw the webbing not as curves, but as straight lines. And then I'm going to take the part, when I start inking it is when I start to do the curves. So here's our spider shape. There's actually, like right here, makes the empty space in between the eyes kind of sort of makes a spider shape as well. I don't know if you can see it, but right in the middle there. Okay, right here, two lines towards the two sides of the chin there. Okay, this one's straight line going up, and then two more beside it on each side. Again, my lines are pretty small, but like altogether these are, if you look really close, these are actually two lines. Like each segment, each line is actually two tiny lines. Okay. And then this one, the lines are actually a little bit further apart when compared to Andrew Garfield's. Here you can't really see it, but Andrew Garfield's webbing is really close. But for Tom Holland, his Spider-Man design, the webbing isn't so far apart, or they are far apart, I mean. You see how the webbing sort of makes a circles around the center part. Okay, and like I said, I'm not drawing the curves, but if you did, the curves sort of always point towards the center between the eyes there. All right, there's that, and then let's draw the spider logo. So try to get that chest established, a chest line. Once you do, we're gonna create that spider logo starting at the chest going down. It sort of looks like that. Gets wider here and then goes down. Hexagonal shapes, right? One goes down a little bit further and then goes into that line again. There you go. Okay, that's good. From here, two lines going outward like so. And this goes towards the shoulder. Actually, forgot to draw this line right here. So if you want to draw that clavicle, that's what that looks like right there. And you see a little bit of the neck, but not much. See a little bit of neck curve there. So that's what that looks like. In all honesty, it sort of looks more like this. Okay, so there's that right there. So we're gonna follow along the center with these two. That goes up towards the shoulders. So you see how this right here goes up towards the shoulders there. That's what we're working on. So it sort of goes like this, and then it goes that way. And then this wraps around the shoulder like that. My eraser is a little dirty. Let me grab my second one. There you go, a little bit cleaner. It's always good to always clean your erasers, by the way. That one's a little too dirty, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some white paper and just erase. Even though I'm not erasing any pencil marks, just rub it against the paper until the white part disappears, the dark part disappears. That's one way to clean. Okay, so there's that line there. What we're doing now is we are trying to find these lines here. This gets a little bit wider as you go up. That goes towards the shoulder like so. This one goes towards the shoulder. See how it sort of makes a point right there? Sort of makes a point. Actually, it's that one right there, right? Ooh. Okay, so this one goes like this. I apologize, you guys. I'm starting to get confused myself. There you go. So that does that. Look at the reference photo a little bit more. Okay, so there you go, that's good. So there's the top foot or leg or whatever you want to call it, right? This one, this line right here continues to here. And we're drawing this section now. This goes out diagonally towards the shoulder, and this is the part that makes a V shape on the shoulder. So yeah, that's sort of made a little mistake there. Because remember, in the reference photo, I said we were going to fix this up because it doesn't look right. So it messed up a bit. There you go. Okay, going back here, find a little dot right there and then just draw this line going up that way towards the shoulder. Like so. So that's where it makes a V shape right there. Okay. It's going to look a little bit messy, so I'm kind of trying to erase some of the guidelines to clean it up a little bit so that it looks a little nicer. There. Okay. Let's go over here now. We're going to draw the outside part first. So this goes this way, kind of like underneath this spot right here. I'm going to bring this down towards the waist in a bit of a diagonal. Let me see. So this is where this sort of looks a little bit different than the reference photo. I do have another reference photo right here. Okay, so this one goes this way and then kind of just straight down like that. Okay. Okay, so right here you should have 3 sections or 3 lines just like that. This one goes down. Now this one we're fixing up again because I said there's going to be wrinkles there and we're going to try to avoid those wrinkles. Okay, this one goes this way and then down. And once you go past the butt part of the spider, it sort of just goes diagonal this way. Okay, so we're done with that part. Okay, this goes outward. You don't really see much of what's happening over here. You do see this leg, just tiny little fraction of it like that, but you don't see the rest. We're not going to draw abs or anything for this Spider-Man. Okay, that goes out like so. Again, this goes further out this way. And then you only see a tiny little sliver of it going into the shoulder. And you see a little bit more of it in the shoulder part like that. There you go. So there's the spider logo, which is a little bit more complicated than it ought to be. Okay, so here's the crotch. And we know that for Spider-Man, it ends just above the crotch there. So that's what we'll do now. Find a straight line right there. And then going upward, diagonal upward. This is where I'm using my discretion and not following the reference photo. Okay, this goes like so, like this. Okay, so you know how this leg, this line right here goes down towards that, but then it sort of wraps around. So it doesn't touch the bottom line, it kind of goes above it, like so. And then this one sort of does the same thing. There you go, like that. Okay. See, you don't see much over here. Maybe you see just a tiny little sliver of that line going this way, like that, right there. Okay, so there's the spider chest. I guess you could call it the spider torso. And then right here, you see the arm going into the spider suit. There's a seam line going down the side here, and then you see a little bit of the arms. Okay, so here for the forearms, you see how there's like a red part right there, so let's draw that. And it goes from the forearm diagonal like so. And then as you get to the armpit part, it gets a little bit bigger and it changes directions like that. So let's draw our spider arm going that way. And then it follows this curve right here. Yep. And then it goes down, follows the suit, sorry, follows this leg. And then it goes this way. And then it kind of goes up in the back. Yeah, a little bit. It goes up like so, right there. And also at the same time, there's this. I'm gonna draw a line going across here and then down this way. And then up like so. And this one, I believe, creates the spider logo in the back there. So it's just a part of the design. So that's what this line is. But in the back, it's supposed to connect over here somehow and creates the spider logo. Something like that. Okay, so that's what that looks like. A little bit of muscle right there. Okay, let's go over here and let's draw the fingers. I'm going to segment the fingers into 3 like I usually do. Right? And right here, our pinky is narrower. It looks like that. Like so. Okay, 2 knuckles on the in between here. And then right here, just the natural flow of the thumb. Okay, and then the last thing are the 2 fingers. All you really see are the 2 knuckles. The rest of the knuckle goes into the palm. And then just the lines of the palm going outward like so. There's some design on the palm as well, so you want to make sure you do that. Okay, so those are red parts. And then there's black parts too. It's kind of hard to see, to be honest with you, from the reference photo anyway. There you go. And then there's just like a little bump right here, which is the spout that brings out the spider web. So you see how I changed the direction of my paper just so I can get, so I don't like weirdly twist my wrist like so. And for the spider web, I'm going to keep it consistent with Andrew Garfield's, and it's just going to be zigzag lines around some multiple lines that are wider up here and then gets narrower as you get to the spout of the spider web shooters. Yeah, that's what it's called. Okay, anyway, so let's continue looking at the forearm here. This line right here sort of goes around, wraps around the arm like so. Okay, and then another line going across like that, and then another line going this way from here, just going down, diagonal, and then down like that. Okay, we'll draw the webbing a little bit later. There's another line that goes down right here. We'll draw the webbing last on the torso. Okay, let's continue. Right here we've got the forearm, so I'm just going to shape that, change my paper direction here. There you go. Okay, similar to this one, there's that change in direction. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And then from here, so that's what that looks like. This is black, but then this becomes red. And the red goes towards the thumb like this. And into the first knuckle or first segment of the finger like that. Okay, and then you could just draw a couple of lines, and there you go. You've got your fingers already. And same thing over here. If you just draw a couple of lines there, then you've already got your finger patterns. Okay, there we go. Let's do the crotch and a bunch of leg lines right here, which are hard to see on this action figure, but you probably see it, just a little bit of the shadow of it. So anyway, let's start with the knees, and the knees are a little bit weird. They have like this, almost like horns. They look like that, and then they go inwards. This goes this way. So it looks like a bat symbol almost, like a cat ears. So that's what that is. See a little pattern that goes like this. This is all faint. This one's a little bit darker, but this one is like barely seen. Okay. And then two lines going outward, like so. Same thing over here, two lines going outwards to the outside. And then this one goes into the thigh. Same thing over here, into the thigh. And it goes straight to where the curve is. So that's what this is right here. I don't know if you can see that. That's what that looks like. And then parallel to that, same thing over here. It goes to the outside and follows, actually this one follows this line right here. And then this one you don't see much, although you see it again on this side going in. Okay, so just some black patterns. And now this is very distinct. This is something that only Tom Holland has, because his spider costume is more technologically advanced than the others. There you go. And then you see that it sort of cuts off and it goes, actually goes that way. But here's where we get to draw a few wrinkles. Some more wrinkles over here. We're not going to draw the crotch that way. We're just going to create the illusion of a crotch without drawing the crotch part. Okay, there's a seam that goes from, sorry, not from there, but from here going towards the knee. So there's like a seam line right there. And then you see the same pattern this same pattern here on this side. It goes those kitty ears. It goes this way and then out. Okay, and then here we've got very weird design, to be honest with you. I'm not sure if I like it. It's nice that it adds some texture to Spider-Man's costume, but it's just makes it look too too much like Iron Man. And I think that's one of people's criticisms about Tom Holland Spider-Man. It's very Iron Man 2.0 is what it is. So he does have that final suit at the very end of the movie. Spoiler alert. Let me know if you want to do that one too. But his final suit is like the Spider-Man spider suit. You know what I mean? Like it's not Tony Stark anymore. It's just Tom Holland. Okay, so a couple of wrinkles right here. We're pretty much done with this part. So right here, let's do the top part first. There's going to be, I'm trying to simplify this for you guys, but there's some gold parts to the knees as well. So there's that. So that's red. And then there's a gold part that goes this way across. Sort of follow that same cat ear pattern, but it gets thicker. Looking at my reference photo, I have two reference photos for this, one on this side and one on this side. So that's why you see me like moving my head. Okay, so over here, same cat ear pattern, like I said. This is the red version. Sort of marks the end of the kneecap, just below the kneecap right there. So if you think of this as the kneecap. And then here is the gold part. But then this one goes downwards, right here, kind of like where the center, if I draw the center, sort of gets cut off right there. So here is one side, and then the other side looks like this, like so. Such a weird looking design, honestly. There you go. So right here it actually goes down, so my bad. Didn't see that part. That goes downwards. Okay, and then the rest of it is just pretty much his foot. So there's that center line right here. Let's just shape out his calf muscles. I'm gonna make it a little bit thicker on each side here. You got that center line going down to the center, and then you've got ones on the side going that way. Like so. Okay, so I'm not going to draw the webbing just yet. Let's get to this part first. And before anything, I'm just going to shape out the calf and the foot so that we know where things go. Okay, and then you draw the bottom sole of the foot like that. Okay, I erase that part. Then you see very smooth. Starting here, I'm gonna follow the curve, go inwards, and then go to the bottom. Now there's two lines that go this way, and then one that goes like that. Okay, and then we got one more going right here. It just goes to the side, like so. Okay. So now let's get started with the actual curves or the webbing. Let's start right here. The webbing goes this way. But now that you know that, I'm just going to draw them as straight lines and then follow along. I'll make the webbing with ink a little bit later. And it's actually quite interesting the way that it's spread out because it's further down here. That's interesting to me. Okay, so yeah, right here it's quite far from each other. Okay, and then from here, does that. There you go. And 2 more right here. And then right here, you don't really get to see much of it. It's just, that's what that looks like right there. Okay, so there you go. All we're left with, you guys, are these lines right here. So let's follow along. There's really not much to them. And I'm just going to go down the side of this, of our spider here, going downwards, like so. Webbing, webbing, webbing. Like that. And then right here at the top, there's three lines that go this way. And then if you just follow, you see how this line and this line, you try to make it so that they touch like the corners there. So you're trying to make it parallel. So this is the center line. These are the 2 lines that go on each side of the head like this. And then there's this line that's at the corner of the spider leg, corner of the spider leg. So you just want to make sure that you stay consistent with the way that you do your lines. Okay, just like that. Then this goes upward. That's it. Okay, and then lastly, you see some webbing here. And here. And there's our Tom Holland, I think. Erase it up. And there you go. There's Tom Holland right there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. This is our, I don't know how many Tom Holland tutorials I've done. I don't remember, but I've done one for all of the Spider-Man movies plus Endgame, I believe. So that's quite a bit of Tom Holland. So hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I will catch you guys in the next one. So we're going to do villain next, and then we're going to do the final one, the Tobey Maguire one. So stay tuned. Peace. And you guys, that is all the time that we have for this video. Thank you so much for tuning in all the way to the very end. I appreciate that a lot. If you guys are proud of your drawings, I would love to see them. So head on over to Instagram, tag me at drawittoo so I can see your masterpieces. If you guys are ever curious about the tools that I use for drawing or the equipment that I use to make these videos, I have links in the description of this video, so make sure you guys check that out. If you are feeling extra generous, I have links down in the description as well for different ways that you can show your support on this channel. I already mentioned Patreon, but there are other ways as well, so be sure to check those out, links in the description. Your contributions go a long way in ensuring that I can continue making videos just like this for you guys to enjoy free of charge. Again, if you guys like this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video right here, comment down below, and share this with your friends in your social media. And speaking of social media, don't forget you guys can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, and of course on my website, drawittoo.com, where you can find a free coloring page based on the tutorial drawing that is found in this video. Again, you guys, all of the links to those are found in the description of this video, so be sure to check that out. Finally, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And yeah, stay tuned for more so you can learn to draw it too. I'll see you guys next time.